Hey everybody, so in today's video I am not going to be telling you how to get a thigh gap or how to make your thigh gap bigger. So I know the title of this video is probably a little misleading, and I know that some of you are probably thinking, what the heck, what are you going to be talking about? But I am going to be talking about this whole thing surrounding the distance between your legs, or the distance between your thighs, or as most people like to call it, the thigh gap. Now, I quickly want you to know that whether you have a thigh gap or you don't have a thigh gap, I'm not sitting here to try to upset you, to try to hurt your feelings, to try to make you feel like lesser of a person. Whether you have a thigh gap or not, I just want you to learn to love yourself, and that's why I'm here today. So I have been just going through social media and stuff, and for quite a while now I have wanted to make this video, but I've always been kind of on the edge about it because I knew a lot of people have very different feelings about it, and I knew that people were going to feel differently about what I say. So I've kind of been nervous to make this video, but I honestly felt ready to do it. So that's why I decided to do it. And like I said, I've just been going through social media lately, and for quite the past probably like year and a half, there's been this whole thing over the thigh gap. And when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I see so many girls just being like, if I'm scrolling through and like I see a famous, say I see a Victoria's Secret model's picture or something that I follow on Instagram, I see so many girls commenting on that picture being like, wow, her thigh gap, I wish I had her legs, I wish I had her body. And I just want you to know that you are worth so much more than the distance between your thighs. To be completely honest, I, as you know, have an eating disorder, so having that thigh gap is one of the things I struggle with on a daily basis. I'm always looking into the mirror and saying, my legs are too big, or my thighs are too big, or I wish the space between my thighs was bigger. And honestly, these are just the things I try to remind myself each day when I look into the mirror and say to myself, I don't have a big enough thigh gap, my legs are too big. And honestly, my legs are one of the things I am struggling with right now. I have struggled in the past with thinking my stomach's too big, or my arms are too big, or my face is too round, my face is too fat, I have a double chin. And right now I am struggling with the size of my legs, and my legs are pretty normal for the average person, but for some reason when I'm scrolling through on Instagram or scrolling through on social media and I see these things of a thigh gap, it honestly, it doesn't like give me that urge to want a huge thigh gap, but it just makes me realize that why are so many people determining their happiness by the space between their thighs or the distance between their thighs. I once thought that if I was thinner, I would be happier. I got to that place, and to be completely honest, I was a heck of a lot happier 100 pounds ago than I am now, and it just really sucks to know that so many people out there are struggling with this same thing. And what you need to remember is that we're all different, and I try to tell myself this each day when I wake up. We're all different. We're not all going to have the same body shapes. We're not all going to look the same, and if we did, the world would be quite the boring place, because when you think about it, some people do have longer legs and some people have shorter legs. So some people have slimmer legs and some people have wider legs. And to think that people are so fixated on this space between your thighs is just, honestly, it's horrible. And once again, I've been scrolling through Instagram sometimes, or I've been on certain blogs, and I have seen people where you can tell that they have tried to Photoshop their thighs to make them look slimmer. And if that is determining your happiness, I just want you to know that you are worth so much more than that, and you are beautiful in every single possible way, just the way you are. And like I said, these are the things I try to remind myself each day. In 5 or 10 years from now, or even right now, the people who love you are not going to worry or base your worth off of the distance between your thighs. And I just want you guys to know that no matter what, like I said, maybe you do have a thigh gap, or maybe you don't have a thigh gap. No matter what, you are beautiful. Genetics does play a role on whether you have this space between your thighs or not. Just as genetic plays a role on whether you have green eyes or blue eyes, or whether you have brown hair or blonde hair. And I just wish that social media and TV and magazines didn't put so much pressure or try to make it seem like this thigh gap would make you a happier person, I'm still always trying to think, wow, I wish I had a bigger space between my thighs, or I wish my legs were longer so maybe they looked thinner. But at the end of the day, I think to myself, does that matter? Do the people who love me really base their love and my worth off of the distance between my thighs? Absolutely not, like I said. So I just want you guys to know that no matter what size you are, no matter what shape you are, no matter your hair color, eye color, no matter how long your legs are, how short your legs are, anything like that, you are worth so much more than the way you look, and you are honestly beautiful in every single way possible. And what makes you happy is the people around you, the people who love you, and how you love them back and how you treat others back. That is what's going to make you a happy person. And that distance between your thighs is going to mean absolutely nothing. And even though right now you may be struggling with it or thinking that you're going to be happier maybe if you have a space between your thighs, honestly, I just wish that we could take social media and rip it apart, because some of the world's most beautiful people have a thigh gap and some of the world's most beautiful people don't have a thigh gap. And it's just really frustrating to think that so many people out there are struggling with the same thing I'm struggling with, or the same thing that thousands or hundreds of thousands of girls out there are struggling with right now. And it sucks big time, but I just want you guys to know that I am always there for you, and so many people love you for just the way you are, and that's all that matters. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this video. I just wanted to get that out there, especially with the new year. I know that there's going to be so many things out there for weight loss and all this kind of thing, and that's not what matters. So I just want you guys to know that this year I am challenging myself to be a better person and to love myself for who I am. And I want you guys to do the exact same thing. Don't go trying to change yourself to make other people happy. As long as you are happy, that is all that matters. And I love you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and I am so looking forward to 2015 with you all. So I will talk to you all soon. Bye everyone.